recording. Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Monday, the 23rd day of June 2014. Today, in the live trading room, we made 12 ticks profit on soybeans, we lost 4 ticks on the Russell, we lost 4 ticks on natural gas, we lost 8 ticks on crude, and we made 8 ticks on gold. We're positive overall on the day, and today it took us 8 minutes and a single trade to get to our goal of $100 a contract. We took a total of 14 trades today. Currently in the live trading room, with one contract for 2 hours a day in the month of June, we are up $2,935 per contract. That's $29.35 per contract in the live trading room. That's it. That's what we got, guys. If you were to apply an $8 commission, you'd be up $1,100. If you were to apply a $5 commission, you'd be up just about $1,800. Okay, that's net numbers. This is a gross number, and those others are net numbers. That's where we stand so far in the month of June. If you look at the number of contracts traded, 228 so far in the month of June. Last month we had 344. So, I don't know. A couple of days here we had a lot of trades. And the days that we had a lot of trades, we actually made a lot of money. But majority of the time, we've had some pretty low trade number days in here this month compared to last month and the month before. Anyway. It's alright, we're positive, and that's all we want. Just want to make money. Now, that's where we stand on the results for the month and the day. And, let's see here. To get into the free trial, that was in the free trial. All those results are from the free trial. But to get into the free trial, the spreadsheet shows the 21st. Did I write the 21st on there? You're right. Let me fix that. Thank you, Michael. See that? I got you guys to help me with that stuff. Today is the 23rd. You're absolutely right. I'm glad I didn't send that out to everyone with that in there. Alright, so, as I was saying, to take the free trial, you just need to go to CFRN.net. Then over here in the right-hand column, you put in your name and your email address. Click register for a free trial. And that's it. Put in your name and your email and register for a free trial, and you will be registered for a free trial. You'll be sent a confirmation link to the email address that you put in here. So whatever email address you put in there, you got to go check that link. You got to click on it because we don't know that you've registered until you click on the confirmation link. Okay, so you got to make sure you click on that. Once you've done that, then you'll get a couple of emails. One will say, welcome, say, Jim, to CFRN. And inside that email, there'll be a whole bunch of information about us and about how to get into the live trading room, give you a password, some links, all that sort of stuff. And the second email that you get will say CFRN DT Pro and Ninja chart setup and trade setup details. Please watch this video. Please go in there and watch that video. It would, it's really just going to help you out to watch the video. Help you out setting up your charts, or just get you a little head start on the first day in the live trading room. Okay, so you're not totally overwhelmed. Alright, so that is all of that stuff. Now, let's get into the actual trades. Okay, today we'll start out with crude like we usually do. And on crude today, we started out, I missed these first two trades right in here, right at the open. From the open there was no trade in here. We did put in a lower swing, didn't put in a higher swing. We're still in a downtrend here. It moved down. We didn't have any divergence right here, but we did get some divergence on this one. So you could have shorted right there. That would have been a goal for the day. You could have shorted right there. Again, probably the goal for the day. I missed both those. The trade that I did finally get into was over here. I got a long trade right in here, and I ended up taking a break even on it when it pulled back right here. Okay. The next trade that I got into was an up close above the trend line right in there, and it was up above the MA1 already. I moved my stop to break even, and it took me out at break even again. The next trade was a down close below the trend line right over here. That one stopped me out. Alright, it turned around and stopped me out right there like that. Okay. The last trade of the day that I did not get into, but it was a short trade right at the end of the live trading room. I pointed it out to everyone. Was right in here. I didn't want to trade this right here because we hadn't put in a lower swing and we weren't trending. Okay, we finally put in a lower swing in here and we were trending right here. Alright, so this down close right here was a shorting opportunity right at the end of the live trading room. And that was it. We ended minus 8 ticks. Okay. Now, obviously, if we had gotten that one, or that one, or that one, we would not have been minus 8 ticks. But we ended minus 8 ticks on the crude oil today. All right. The next market I want to go over is the Russell 2000. Let's see. We'll scroll around a little bit here. Our first trade on the Russell was right here. It was a down close. I didn't draw the trend line in. It happened kind of fast. But it was a down close below the trend line right there. We shorted the Russell right there. I believe we shorted it at 80.6, and we ended up taking 4 ticks profit on the trade. Okay. It put in a lower swing. It came back up, closed below the trend line again. We were looking for continuation here. Sadly, we did not get it. It stopped us out, and that put us at minus 4 ticks. It changed directions in here, but it was going right up into the weekly trading zone. You know, there were a bunch of times that I wanted to trade the Russell today. I wanted to trade it over here, but the ES was in a zone. I wanted to trade it here, but it was in a zone. The Russell being in and out, the ES being in and out of the zone all day slowed us down with the Russell, sadly. But anyway, there was another long trade up here. I think I got slipped in this trade, because I should have been in right here at 84.6, and I slipped in at 84.8. I was already up above the MA1, so I moved my stop to break even right away, and it took me out of break even. All right. Again, weekly trading zone, so we couldn't short right there as much as I wanted to. Momentum trade right here, I couldn't do because the ES was in a zone. So, I don't know. Let's see, we didn't have any trade setups in here. Okay. The ES was in a zone. That's why we're avoiding everything right in there and in here. Finally, over here, the ES had gotten out of the zone, and we took our short trade right here. This was toward the end of the live trading room this morning, and we ended up getting taken out at break even on that. All right. There was one more, and this was at the very end where I pointed out the crude trade at the same time. That one worked out for probably, 6 ticks probably. Again, I missed that one. It was a momentum trade because there was no divergence there. But we ended the Russell with minus 4 ticks. Okay. We had 2 break-evens, plus 4, and a minus 8. Those are the trades we had on the Russell today. Okay. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Let me bring that back up. There it is. I meant to do that. Alright, so the next market we'll go over is gold. We ended gold with plus 8 ticks this morning. Okay, just a couple of trades on it. It was a little choppy and slow here to start out, but once it started to move, it got up above this box that I was looking for here. We closed above the trend line right there. We took 3 ticks profit on that. We got into another one over here, closed above the trend line again. After putting in a higher swing and continuing the trend, we closed above the trend line again, and we took 5 ticks profit on that one. That was it. That's all we traded on the gold. It got, I don't know. It moved around quite a bit after that. Now, let me just go look at a couple of things here. I want to see if I can spot any of these. 164 trades right in here. Those of you guys who remember Workshop 164 trade right there for that huge move down. Actually, Workshop 165, the last one, was where I was having a tough time. This is a reminder for all the partners, all active partners. The workshop this week is going to be on Wednesday, not Thursday. It's going to be Wednesday night this week. Okay? And get your questions in. We want to get the questions out of the way early. We don't want to have another incident like last week where I couldn't make it through the whole thing. All right. So that was it on gold. All right. That was it on the gold. We ended the gold plus 8 ticks. Okay. We had a 3-tick win and a 5-tick win on the gold. Let's see. Moving over to soybeans. Our first trade of the day was in soybeans right here. All right. Now, when we were in this, I'm just looking at the ranging stuff on the soybeans. When we were in this, we took the trade and we ended up taking 8 ticks profit. Okay, that was $100 a contract. That's what we wanted right there. I had said at that time, look for it to get down to 26, and then below 26 should get to 24. Once we got below 24, I expected it to keep on going, and it took a while. It consolidated. It stopped us out in the middle of this consolidation. So we were plus 8 there, minus 8 there, and then we took this short trade right down here, and we got 12 ticks profit on that. We took another one right in here, and we ended up break even on that final trade right there. And I believe I was telling everyone, look for it to get down to 410. It got down to 410. It even went through 410 down to 1408. 408. When I say 408, I'm just leaving off the teen part. 14. Okay. From there, you can see it went back up to our level, consolidated, and it's ready for another big move, either up or down. The divergence suggests it's going to go down. It'll be a big move down, but the inverted head and shoulders suggests it's going to be a big move up. So I would look for it to get up to 1424. That's what I would say. All right, the cycle is going to be resetting here and moving up if that starts to happen. That is that. All right, that was the soybeans. We ended plus 12 ticks on soybeans. Now the next market is the ES. As I told you, the ES was in and out of its weekly trading zone all day. Just a mess right in here. I didn't call anything on the ES. I didn't even like looking at the ES because it was stopping us from looking at the Russell trades. The final market that we traded this morning was natural gas. Okay, on the natural gas, we took 2 trades. We took a long trade right here, and that stopped us out for minus 8 ticks. And then we took a short trade right in here. And on that one, we took 4 ticks profit. Okay, the only other trade that happened, there wasn't any other trade that happened. I guess. No, there really wasn't any other trade that happened in here this morning on the natural gas. That was pretty much it. There. Alright. Let me just straighten all these out. You can see everything got really, really choppy here. You know, I don't get it. Let's see, next week is the holiday week, right? Not this week. It's next week. Next week I'm going to be working from a different location. That'll be fun. It's next Friday is the holiday? Okay. Well, that's good. Let's see, so back to my spreadsheet quickly. On the month, we are up $2,935. That's kind of low for us to have this many days into the month, or what? Just about 16 days into the month, 15 days into the month, something like that. And we're only up just about $3,000 gross. We're usually up more than that. You know, last month we were up $5,357. The month before that was our banner month, $7,555. I'm going to change that text to be something else. Green and bigger. There. Maybe highlight it. That was our best month of the year. That was actually our best month of the last 2 years in the live trading room. $7,555 a contract. Now, that's trading one contract for 2 hours per day. You know, there's another column, a couple more columns on here that we don't go over very often, and that is the cumulative totals for the year. Let's see, this is this year. No, that's all the way back until last year. This is this year. Okay, so we started out in January with $6,000. Now, if you just add the 6,042 from February, you're up 12,070. But if you add a contract in February, and you're trading 2 contracts in February, then at the end of February, you'd be up 18,000. If you just add the 5,300 for March, you'd be up 17,000. But if you add another contract for March, you'd be up 34,000. If you just add the total for April, 7,500, you'd be up 24,000, just about 25. But if you add another contract, you'd be up 64,000. In May, if you just add the 5,300, you'd be up 30,000. But if you add another contract, you'd be up 91,000. Okay, so this column is trading just one contract, 2 hours a day. This column is adding 1 contract per month. That's the total. So far this month, we are in the 6th month. So you would be at, well, January was 1, February was 2, March 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'd be at 6 contracts right now. So you'd be looking at just about $18,000 gross profit. So you'd be adding 18 roughly onto that, or just adding the 3 roughly onto that. You can see what a difference it makes when you're compounding it like that, just adding 1 contract per month. When the month is done, we'll see. We should be over $5,000, hopefully. Hopefully by the end of the month, but we'll see. James, it's hard to say. Does any one perform better than the others? The question is, does any one commodity perform better than the others using the system? I would say you're going to get less trades in the ES than you'll get anywhere else. But I mean, you can see the monthly totals, and you can go back a full year and see. This month the Russell was really good. This month we're break even on the Russell right now. This month so far the natural gas is what's carrying us. Last month, natural gas was 3rd or 2nd. This month it was the Russell and the gold, and then natural gas. And this month, it was crude oil and natural gas, and then the Russell. It depends on the month. The different commodities have different, characteristics, the way they trade. Bart, that's one car per month, and that's gross. 1 car per month gross. Okay. But they have different characteristics. Like the natural gas, the soybeans, for instance. The soybeans, like I just pointed out a minute ago, they're the kind of market that you got to be able to sit through this to benefit from this, and sit through this to benefit from this. You got to be able to stomach that kind of stuff. It's doing it again right now, and the divergence is suggesting it's going to go down, but the chart pattern is suggesting it's going to go up. There's a couple of things. This is a little outside the normal CFRN box, but you got that going up. You got a neckline right in here that's already been broken, and it's pulled back down into the neckline. It wouldn't surprise me. This is a head, this is a shoulder, and this is a shoulder. It wouldn't surprise me to see it up here at 1424 in the next hour. You are getting big consolidation, so it's either going to go up to 24 or it's going to go down to 08. One or the other, but it's going to go one of those ways. How can you trade it? Well, there's a bunch of ways that you can trade it. But if you just wanted to trade a breakout on the thing, and buy above 18, and probably sell below 13, something like that, I would say trade outside that range. Could it be the left shoulder at about 11:49 Eastern? Left shoulder, 11:49. You mean right in here? Left shoulder. Oh, you're talking about this being a head, and this being a shoulder, and this being a shoulder. Regular head and shoulders instead of an inverted head and shoulders. It could be a smaller one, but I don't see that. That's not what I'm feeling here, Jim. I'm thinking it's going to go up to 1424. That's where it started the day. All right, right over here. Actually started even higher than that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. The bigger the pattern, the more dramatic the movement. This is a smaller pattern. So you're looking at the same neckline, this just the other way for the smaller pattern. And either way, as I said, if it breaks down below here, then the smaller head and shoulders pattern, normal head and shoulders, would win. You'd get your close down below the neckline, same neckline, and you look at the same place at 1408. If it breaks up above here, Inverted head and shoulders. Same neckline. You're just looking for it to break up above 1418 to get up to 24. Yeah, something like that. Alright, that's my thought on that. Alright, so with all that, I have now gone 3 minutes past where I said I was going to go. If you have not taken a free trial with us, you guys know how to get to the free trial thing. You just go to any page at CFRN.net, put in your name, your email address, click register for a free trial. Make sure you click on the confirmation link. Okay? That's it. That's all we got, guys.
Hey, Mike. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You are welcome. Let me put this back over here where it belongs.
You already done with cut the recorder off?